You're the party leader of Safina, and this time again you want to vie for president. So you're as an aspirant under Safina.
Yes.
Safina is pushing an agenda that you've called the Feast Agenda, which we're going to interrogate shortly. But I just want to start off with, why Jimi Wanjigi? If we were to tell Kenyans this morning, I, Jimi Wanjigi, want to be president because, tell us why.
Because I'll change your lives. Because I'll eradicate poverty. Because the period we are in today, as a nation, is truly about our economic welfare. The economic exclusion of millions of Kenyans. And this is the period we're in. When we had our independence, it was about removing the Mzungu colonialist. The second liberation, in our view, ended with the new constitution, expanded our political, democratic, and human rights. Now, we must continue what those two liberations began. It is economic. Gen Z in 2024 stamped their authority about the question of this coming election. It is about the exclusion, their exclusion. It is about corruption. It is about poverty. It is about all that is ailing us economically. The dignity of every single Kenyan, the dignity of families that are a healthcare away from poverty. This is what this period is about. And I have the answer. I am the leader that can change that for majority of Kenyans.
Jimmy, you've previously talked publicly about how you've helped others run presidential campaigns, some successfully, including Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto in 2013. You worked with Raila in 2017. You have given yourself, talked about it yourself, of your credential to think and strategize politically. You don't have any credential of actually running any public office, do you?
No.
Why should Kenyans trust you that you'd be able to run this public office, especially at this time that you say it's a crucial time?
That's a fantastic question. Because I am fresh. I have inside knowledge, but outside experience. I am fresh. The people that have caused the revolutions have always been from the outside. The ones that especially economic. Lee Kuan Yew, our president, likes talking about Singapore. Where did he come from? He was a lawyer, went into unions, became president. Cyril Ramaphosa, where was he from? Unions, became a president. Donald Trump, where was he from? Business. Eisenhower, a military general, became a president. You have situations, you have Milei in Argentina, who for 20 years ran. He was from outside. He was an economist, a footballer, never held any political position. Today, he has changed that country with his chainsaw revolution of cutting the debt. That was a country that had a 200% inflation rate. He's brought it down to 30. That is the significance of a fresh start. This economic revolution cannot be about the same players. It can't be. They can't change it. They don't understand it. It's a very fresh thing. And it needs different thinking. But it also needs somebody with inside knowledge. I am that leader. I have inside knowledge. I know what it's all about. And I have clarity about where we should go.
What is this inside knowledge? I say this, just let me start with that. What is inside knowledge?
Understanding government, understanding people, understanding our history, what has been right, what has been wrong, understanding why we are where we are, what is this pendulum we are operating in, and understanding the times, both locally and internationally, to be able to meander through to this revolution that Kenyans so desperately need.
Okay. Is it an understanding that comes from benefiting from previous governments?
We are beneficiaries of Kenya. Right? When we got freedom, it wasn't freedom for just one person. It was for everybody. Right?
No,
when you got education, it was not education for one person, it was for all of us.
I mean, benefiting from government directly through business, through king-making, not through education and healthcare.
You see, Mariam, everywhere in the world, because I think I know what you're trying to ask. If you look at US government, for example, there are people who vote on the basis of Republican and Democrats, right? If you vote Republican and support the Republican Party, you're doing so because they don't tax the rich as much as the Democrats. Is that a beneficiary?
Yes.
Because it helps your business.
Of course.
So everybody operates on that basis. Everybody. Even here, what is our biggest concern? The government is charging us high taxes. Who wants high taxes? Are you enjoying them?
No.
Right. So you vote against it. Are you going to be a beneficiary of a government that reduces your tax?
Okay.
Doesn't it help your livelihood?
It does. I'll put a pin in that and interrogate that a bit more in depth, because I think you know what I mean by beneficiary, and it's certainly not from lower taxes in that sense. But you spoke about eradicating poverty, being the man for this job, having insider knowledge. What's different about Jimi Wanjigi, or what does he know that others before him haven't known? And I say this because the first Kenyatta came into power, tumalize umaskini, ugonjwa na ujinga. Umaskini was right up there. many years later, bado umaskini. And every other candidate for president and president has come saying, you know what, the economy is my number one priority, or the people of Kenya are my number one priority. Eradicating poverty, doing this. Yet 60 odd years, we're still here.
That's true, Maria. That's a good representation of the past. Now, let's talk about me personally. You are your environment. I myself am somebody who grew up privileged. I had a privileged upbringing. It informed my life. I had a father who is my mentor, my biggest mentor. And he had one saying that profoundly rings in my ear. You grow, but you don't leave no one behind. And he used the word no one behind. Now, that was his life. So we knew, as a family, no matter what happens in our lives, as we prosper, as we learn, we don't leave no one behind. Now, just to get you the ethos, I brought a very interesting book here. This is a book my father wrote in 1962, just to show you the kind of leadership that was there. Leadership of service. This book is in Kikuyu, Ukoria wa Kahwa, which means the growing of coffee. Interpreted in Kikuyu by him. All right? And this book he distributed, because coffee was grown in the Kikuyu, in the Mount Kenya region. He distributed free of charge, edited and written by him, about how to grow the crop called coffee. Because Mzungu did not pass that knowledge to many. Now, who does that today? Sit back and educate people for themselves. This is a father who started circles in this country, if you didn't know, who did 1 million acre worth of land settlement as director of lands, right? He's the one who began Gikomba and Kampunji markets that you see here that keep being banned. Their heart was about helping people, growing but leaving no one behind. That is the life we live. That's the life we live. We leave no one behind. So we understand the situation that is there today. This is a country, and I mean, it is tragic. We have 32 million people that are still poor 63 years after independence. And you're right, Mariam. This thing is not changing. There's another 2.5 being added this year, right? Over 52 million people. So we understand the problem. We understand it. We understand what is ailing them, what needs to change. And primarily, to govern our people, right? You need to keep them at a level where they are thinking about their stomachs, not what you're eating in your plate. So you keep 60% on average looking for their stomachs, right? 30% struggling to make a living, our so-called middle class, and the 10% up there continue dominating a nation. That model still exists because they say then people are governable. So there's actually a system that is suppressing your talent, your capacity, your energy, all right? Your education, everything, all your skills, yeah? You go around thinking that education will take you out of poverty. You come round, going to take your family out, and then you struggle. If you don't get a job, if you do get a job, it's underemployment. You're selling sachets of pombe or something, you see? And yet you have a university degree. So this cycle just continues. It doesn't change.
So there's a system that's structured that way.
Yes.
You have grown up in that system.
Yeah.
You have helped that system to
How
thrive.
have I helped it?
You have.
Eric, those are very big words. How have I helped it?
You have helped that system to thrive by benefiting from the system.
How have I benefited?
Have you gotten
Other than you?
Have you gotten contracts from government using your proximity to those in power? Yes, you have. Have you helped people who have not been in power get into power? Yes, you have.
Hold on. You made a statement. And I would like to qualify that statement.
Please do.
Have I benefited from contracts in government? Yes, I have. But don't say it is because I knew people in power. That is a misnomer. Government is the biggest business. I've been a private businessman. Are you telling me as a private businessman I cannot pitch for government business? And it has been the biggest business. This is what we are seeking to change. The private sector should be the biggest business. So if I am part of contributing to Thika Road, is that proximity to power?
Is it not?
I conceptualized. I helped conceptualize. Is that wrong?
Are you still in business with government?
No, I have not been.
When's the last time you're in business with government?
Since I won a project at the airport in the year 20... When was it? Before Uru came in? 2012? Yes.
That was the last one?
That was the airport contract, yes. That was the last time. Yes.
Would it be wrong for Kenyans to assume the reason why you are coming at this administration the way you are is because you are not benefiting from it the way you did from previous administrations?
Which administration? This administration?
Yes.
Of William Ruto?
Yes.
Oh, are you serious? Wasn't I also against the Uhuru administration?
But you're in business with Uhuru as well?
Right. So it had nothing to do with government contracts. Why do people believe that? They were my friends. I would have been the easiest beneficiary. But that election, people must understand, was a lot more than what people saw.
The 2022 election?
Yes. Not 22. The 2013 election.
2013, okay.
You must remember we were coming from a very serious carnage here. 2007. Post-election violence had killed 1,400 Kenyans, something we've never seen. Never seen. Never seen that sort of deaths, maybe during the colonial period. Now, we were cementing a very key aspect, which I believe has held until today. That brother will not kill brother. Pick up a machete and go and kill his brother or her brother. And I believe it has held until today. We achieved that. The second, you had a new generation of power coming in. It was a new generation from our fathers to their children. And a new constitution. It was about a new order. What I'm talking about today is what should have been implemented in 2013. This is where my friends let me down. It had nothing to do with Jimi Wanjigi. What is it I need? What is it I need? I don't need those monies you people talk about. I don't.
What is it
So
that Jimmy needs
the
right
key
now?
thing is that we wanted a different country. What I'm talking about today is what they should have been implementing from 2013. And unfortunately, they didn't. They decided to hold on to the same order. But more importantly, they created greater slavery, right? With the amount of debt that they consumed, the amount of debt that they took. And this is where the crux of our problems came. Said I was not going to be part and parcel of something that was supposed to be liberating Kenyans of. And you can ask them personally, the two of them, they'll tell you, I refused business. I told them, if there's any biashara, you can all have it. I don't want it. But if you want me as a sounding board, I'm here.
Okay. Let me quote a Business Daily article. Daily Nation, talking about a draft agreement between Jimi Wanjigi and a Chinese company, Avic International, that was eyeing a multi-billion shilling contract with the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology to supply, install, and commission electrical and electronic engineering equipment to various institutions. According to the Daily Nation article, you were to get 10% of the contract price, but the Jubilee administration did not award Avic the tender. Avic was also involved in the NYS Phase 1 supply of equipment, etc. And so on and so forth. So this is a tender where you were to get 10% of this. Jubilee does not award the tender to Avic, so you don't get the 10%. It goes back to what Philaris was asking. Is this political push and coming into the foray, moving from behind the scenes into the limelight because you have either fallen out of business favor with the Uhuru Ruto administration or the current Ruto Kindiki administration?
I don't know what article you're referring to, because I can tell you if there were any pitches for, I think that might have been a TVET program. Avic was one of my companies that I represented.
Okay.
If that was a program under Avic on Tibet, that was before the Uhuru regime. It was not after.
Okay.
Right? It was not after. And that program did not take off. It took off only in part. We were part and parcel of talking about grants towards Tibet. Right? So that did not happen. So I don't know where that misinformation is. I can tell you authoritatively here, the only contract I had anything to do with, right, was the SGR contract. And SGR, the model I had for SGR was a private contract with the same company, China Road and Bridge, that we were going to do it as a PPP, not taxpayers' money. And the government chose to take it into taxpayers' docket. And we had a big problem, I had, with the inflation that was then put towards it. So those rumor mongering or propaganda, I'm sorry, that was not me.
You're seeking public office now. Would you make public your business dealings?
My business dealings?
You're seeking public office right now, right? You want to be the president of this country. Would you make public those, your business dealings with previous administrations? Because we are chasing a record of transparency, correct? And you say you're the best person for the job. And there has to be transparency as to how much you have contributed to all of these things. And we'll come into the next half hour to interrogate the ODS debt and every other thing that has come from the previous administration. So you, being an upstanding citizen of this country, would you make public those deals that you had with previous administrations?
See, one thing that is very clear is that when you are seeking public office, you must be very transparent about what you own.
Correct.
And why wouldn't I make it public, what I own?
Okay.
There's no issue about that. But I can assure you, that's not the bigger problem of Kenya. That is not. The bigger problem of Kenya is the system I'm talking about. That there is a deliberate, very deliberate method of making sure there is a template to govern this nation by keeping people thinking about their stomachs, not about what is in your plate when you're up there. Now that I'm not for, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm a businessman. A businessman thrives when people have money.
True.
When people have disposable income so that they can buy whatever they are selling, a businessman is selling. So we come from a very different thought pattern, not the government thought pattern that you're imagining. We want to see people with more and more money in their pockets.
True.
Right? Because that is somebody who is able to buy what you produce. So we have a different ethos. So when you think of us in business with government, why do you only think of government business as a looting spree? A lot of government business has been value addition. That Thika Road you're talking about, right? We did it for 32 billion. I was a big part of getting about 18 million of that. 18 billion from Chinese money. The rest was ADB. All right? The rest was ADB. I want you to see it this way. That road was the most densely populated road of traffic in this nation, more than Mombasa Road. Right? It brings into this city roughly 40% of GDP. All right? So it was important that there is value addition. And look at it after. That land there used to be about 300,000 an acre.
Yeah.
Today, it would be very hard if you get an acre for less than 40 million, 50 million shillings. In some areas, up to 100 million shillings. You have changed the lives of millions of people. How is that an exploitation? It's a value addition. You've never had any complaints. Never.